All right, cool. Welcome to another episode of Bryce's Nicest. I'm your host, Bryce Warner, aka B Dub Too Nice. And we got a lot to talk about with the NBA All Star Weekend wrapping up, man. This past weekend, the NBA All Star Weekend was another great weekend in hoops, another great weekend for the NBA. Um, I would say if I were to rate it 1 to 10, I'd give the weekend in general a 7, with a lot of that coming from the game itself. All right. We'll break down and talk about that. And I'll also talk about some stuff with Unrivaled as they had their one-on-one tournament this past weekend. Shouts out to Chelsea Gray on that. And also talk about maybe the future of both leagues, the NBA and the WNBA, as things have developed for both leagues. So yeah, this is an episode talking about the future. I'm not a fortune teller, but I can predict things pretty well. But that being said, thank you guys for always tuning in. Shouts out to the Most Pussy Media Network for hosting this lovely show. And yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're listening on podcast streams, be sure to give a good rating. And hopefully we are in your podcast rotation. All right. I know it's been a couple weeks since I've had an episode, but I'm back here talking the lovely game of basketball. Yeah. So without further ado, we're gonna talk first and foremost about the weekend itself. Like I said, I'm giving the weekend a 7. Um, the game was what gave a lot of the weight here for this All Star weekend in general. Um, Good presentation. I think it was just a bad year for it to be in the Intuit Dome. I can see the potential in the Intuit Dome and how I really want to go to the Intuit Dome. All right. I know people have their wish list of sports arenas, concert arenas, just different venues in general. And Intuit Dome seems like a place where sports should be played. Steve Ballmer took a lot of time to, how should I put this? Took a lot of time and invested a lot of time in the Intuit Dome. I mean, obviously, as him being the owner of the Los Angeles Clippers, but he had the fan perspective in mind the whole time, and it's the ultimate fan experience from what it's been not portrayed, but what it's been presented as. Right, so I'm looking forward to LA in 2028 for the Olympics. Obviously, because we've seen how overseas how the teams are or how fans are. Now, I doubt there'll be streamers and flare guns and stuff going off at these games, but I know, and we'll see a glimpse of that with the World Cup this year. Um how citizens from other countries come and represent their country on U.S. soil. Um, yeah, let's start with Friday. Rising Stars. I didn't watch the celeb game, so we're skipping past the celeb game. I normally watch every All Star event, but as I get older, I watch the things that actually matter. I don't want to say the celeb game don't matter. All right, but I don't think it's really relevant as far as the All Star festivities this year. Um, Shams didn't score from what I saw. Taco Fall caught a dunk, which we gotta have some limitations on that. All right. Um, I understand that the Celebrity All Star Game is a melting pot of people to where you get celebrities, old players, coaches, just everybody who love the game of basketball or different people that love the game of basketball, and get them all together to play a game for the fans. Um, but seeing Taco Fall up against certain people, that's crazy. Like having Taco Fall and Glorilla on the same court at the same time. NBA, what are we doing here? But I mean, it was cool to see, man. It was cool to see. But Rising Stars, let's start there. When it comes down to talk about the future. Rising Stars. Man, shout out to Vince Carter's team. They won. Former New Jersey Net. He had Jaeger Yeoman, current Brooklyn Net, on the squad, as well as VJ Edgecombe, who was a player that I've talked highly about this season a lot. They won the tournament, and I'm glad. And from watching the tournament, it was, I know people call Adam Silver tournament man and everything, like his um default solution is, oh, give him a tournament, let him play a tournament to decide this. But we have to see how these tournaments have yielded great competition, no matter the environment, no matter the occasion, no matter the end goal, just no matter what. It's always been good. So the Rising Stars game, which I mean, we've had those tournaments for a while now with the network partner, their analysts picking the teams. You got Team Mello, Team Austin, Team Vince, Team T Mac, and it was very competitive. I love the first game, how it was a family affair. For one, you had Dylan Harper against Ron Harper Jr., two brothers. If you got a brother, or I mean, if you got a sibling, really, everybody know that sibling rivalry brings the best out of each, brings the best out of each other, right, and brings good competition. Um, so that was good to see. And then Vince beat T Mac. Everybody know that they're cousins. They got the cousins podcast out. Everybody knows connection there. Teammates, but back in Toronto. So it was good to see the high level of competition because hey, those guys are getting after it. I mean, you had moments from Dylan Harper, Jaeger Yeoman, like I said, VJ Edgecombe. You had moments from, trying to think of who else. I want to say Khan. No, Montaz was in the game. Um, Seth Castle. Really trying to think. Oh man, blanking right now, but definitely moments of high level competition. I mean, we just really want to see the guys compete as fans of the game, and but in a relaxed environment. You know, that's what All Stars really about. Being able to compete in a relaxed environment. Like we don't want Game 7, but we don't want open practice to where everybody's just lazy as well. Um, yeah, Rising Stars is good. It was a good display of what's to come for the future. I think they did a good job selecting the players that they selected this year. Was kind of bummed to not see Cooper Flag in this environment, but I look forward to seeing him next year, especially with what would have been his class this year coming into the league next year. So definitely, or just hey on the I don't want to say on the regular. Just off that fact alone, that'll be good narratives and good things to watch out for this upcoming season. So yeah, definitely shout out to the Rising Stars. Rising Stars doesn't disappoint really. It's a good tone setter for the weekend, but it doesn't really disappoint. All right. Then you have the Saturday night. Saturday, well, I'm gonna call it Saturday evening. Because it started at 5 o'clock due to Olympic coverage. Olympic coverage was pretty solid. I don't want to say it. All right, no. It started at 5 o'clock due to Olympic coverage, which kind of worked out in our favor this year. Me as a young adult having a certain lifestyle or just fit into their consumers' lifestyle here, right? 5 o'clock on a Saturday. Saturdays are usually a busy day, but if you're chilling, it's like good to have like a midday thing and um a time where there's no college football to compete with, and you really have the Saturday to yourself outside of Olympic coverage. It was pretty solid. Um, they brought back shooting stars. They took out the skills challenge, which I didn't think they should have took out the skills challenge, but brought back shooting stars. 3-point contest was very entertaining. D Book, oh my lord, man, hate to see. I hate to see it. I mean, Book is one of my guys. Obviously, you guys know. Friends of the show know Book's one of my favorite players, and he was there. But Dame Dollar pulled up. Dame Dollar pulled up and showed out. Ain't even play a game all season, but took home the 2026 3-point contest, and he's setting up the 3-point contest for next year. I know we talked about. I don't say I feel like I'm rehearsing um points from last night. I know we talked about a lot on the Hear Me Out show, but yeah, no, it was cool to see Dame come through, do his thing, and cook up, even though he hasn't suited up at all this season. Which I mean, he's recovering from ACL. Let me fact check myself. Let's use our resources here. He is recovering from a torn left Achilles that he suffered last year in the playoffs. All right. Um, what's up, Reed? My boy in the comments. So yeah, it was exciting to see Dame Lillard do his thing in the All Star Saturday night. Really looking forward to Phoenix in 2027 though. Steph Curry says he's on board. Um, Book gotta get his rematch, especially being the host of All Star Weekend next season. He got to get his get back. So that three point contest has always been the spotlight, or has been, I don't say always, but has been the spotlight of All Star Saturday Night for a while now. Dunk contest is really just depending on who's in the dunk contest and who makes their dunks. And this year's dunk contest wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. But you really gotta ask yourself: has it really been a new dunk that we haven't seen yet, or are people really gonna be satisfied from these dunks from guys that they probably aren't knowing much of? Like the casual viewer, I don't think knew, or the casual NBA player, I mean NBA fan, I don't think could tell you who the dunk contest contestants were outside of maybe Jackson Hayes. Yeah, Jackson Hayes, Jace Richardson, um, Carter Bryant, and Keyshawn Johnson. I was about to say Keyshawn Johnson, Keyshawn Johnson. Which I mean, they put on a good display of dunks. They put on a good display of. They made most of their dunks. The execution behind their dunks were pretty good. It's just a matter of being impressed. And Matt McClung dropped his 4 dunks that he would have done in the dunk contest, which at this point, I understand the whole you don't want to be known as a dunker because Zach Levine changed his game around and he went from being known as a dunker to being known as a well-rounded player now. And but see what Matt McClung had in the tuck, that boy could jump, especially from being as small as he is too, in comparison to league size and league height. But for his position, very undersized, and doing what he's doing at that size, very amazing. So shout out to Matt McClung, but I don't know if the NBA should do away with the dunk contest. I know we talked about this last night on Hear Me Out, but it just feels like it could go without it. You know, I don't know. Maybe bringing the young guys in, which I've always been advocating for. Like it has to be a young guy, and like we get the moments from the young guys, or finding people that just want to do it. Because we can't force Ja and Ant to do the dunk contest. It just ain't right, or just can't. Those are grown men. They make their own decisions. Same time, they got to be available. I think Ja Moran is out. Yeah, Ja Moran is out right now due to injury. So there's that. But a lot of talk for a 1v1 tournament, which I think the NBA is overdue for. And I remember saying that, I think I said it this weekend. Yeah, I said it this weekend. I was like, watch the NBA bring this in at a time where, not saying we don't care about it, but like at a time to where matchups that we want to see, we won't see for whatever reason. I don't think guys like James Harden and Kyrie Irving and whatever like big ISO players they are. I don't think like those guys are retiring anytime soon. But I think the NBA do need to strike when the iron's hot. And while things are going, because we've seen how 1v1 has worked. I mean, I think 1v1 is basketball's version of battle rap, as far as like the cult following, and really speaks more to like the real fans of the game. Well, I don't say the real fans, but like the diehard fans of the game and people that just love basketball that much and want to be around basketball, that they're watching 1v1 basketball, because it's not easy to get the casual watcher to watch or care about 1v1 basketball, but it just has that underground feel to it, you know? And the guys in the league are paying attention to the underground guys or the guys on the next chapter, the ball is life guys. And even with Unrivaled, how they've done the 1v1 tournament the last 2 years and seeing what attention that brings and seeing how many people tune into that, seeing how that gets to talk, that was hand in hand. It was All Star Weekend and the Unrivaled 1v1 tournament. And I would say the 1v1 tournament was on par as far as attention wise with All Star Weekend until the All Star game on Sunday night. So yeah, I hope the NBA, I hope Adam Silver and the NBA really take note and see what's going on so they can proceed to integrate this stuff into its product. Um, I don't even think it has to be a long tournament, right? Just get 12 guys and have them duke it out. Get an East bracket, West bracket, and have them go at it. Um, Maybe I can come up with like a hypothetical list, or I don't know. We'll just have to see. But definitely something that the NBA should explore is the 1v1 tournament, because then that brings different conversations. Um, we've seen even on the overtime stage how they've done it with the high school prospects and how hype that is. Just imagine that in a whole stadium, everybody is locked in on a 1v1 game, the whole gym. And not just a practice gym, not just a small scale gym, but a whole NBA arena locked in on the best one on one ISO kind of players, showcasing their skills, getting to it. Man. Yeah, I might, yo, who got Adam Silver's number? I am overdue for a talk with Adam Silver. If y'all know, y'all follow me, y'all know I am overdue for a talk with Adam Silver. So yeah, but outside of that, let's talk about Sunday night, the game itself, and the new format that they initiated this year. The one thing about Adam Silver, man, it's a method behind that man's madness. Okay, I know oftentimes people frown upon the things that he tries to bring into the game, but this is a man that studies his own league as well as other leagues. Okay, he brought in the in-season tournament after seeing the success that the WNBA has had with it, and even with soccer leagues, how they've had their different league chips or different league, um, like Champions Leagues or whatever. I'm not biggest soccer guy. Not even gonna front like I am, but I do know soccer has different leagues, like clubs. They're in different leagues, or they have different champion tournaments, and just all over. Um, and bringing the things that have been successful for other leagues and bringing it into the NBA and seeing how it brings success in that league. So, shouts out to Adam Silver for always changing and pushing forward for change and making adaptations and trying to continue to upkeep competitiveness in his league, because there's been times where, hey, people don't care about the regular season as much. Let's make them care about the regular season. Brought in the in-season tournament. Okay, let's try to compete with tanking or combat tanking. Now you have the playing tournament, and we seen how that has worked out. So that being said, this new All Star format, you had two teams of U.S. All Stars, one team of World All Stars. I know that in the discussion that we had yesterday, we brought up the point that arguably the top five players in the league are not from U.S. soil and are representative of other countries. So maybe having the All Star format kind of reflect that in a team of the league's best, or showcasing All Star game, Pro Bowl, All Star games, or whatever is the best of the best, right? And you want to showcase the best of the best, and you want to do so in a competitive way. That's what the fans have been asking for, and that is what has happened, or that's what happened with this new format. So, I know I said it last night that people don't like what they don't understand. I think at first people didn't really understand the format or understand why the format was happening. Um, it was people were saying it was giving DEI. I don't even like using that combination of terms I just used, but that's just what it felt like to some people. To others, it was showcasing how the globalization of the game has really came about, and really the end result was a great competitive display of basketball. So I'm not even tripping. I'm not even mad at it. I'm glad at the product that they put together. And I mean, hey, the league can only do but so much. It's on the players to really make the game what it is. And we saw that early on. Victor Wembanyama was very, very, very passionate in these games, or just very made things matter, right? He took it serious. Well, he takes everything serious. Like even last year when he was an All Star, warming up like it's an actual game. That is a true professional. All right. I remember playing basketball back in high school. You practice how you play. That was something that was very clear and they were adamant on. And any good coach is going to tell you that, right? Or just even being a professional, practice how you're going to do it. So he took the game serious. That let others take the game serious. Like Ant on record is saying that Wemby was the one that got him serious to take the game serious. You saw Kawhi Leonard drop 31 in one of those games. Those games are 12-minute quarters, right? Kawhi Leonard dropped 31 points in a 12-minute pickup game. 31 points in a 12-minute pickup game. I saw a tweet saying he playing like they about to come down. Like they about to come down on him and the Clippers for aspiration stuff, which I'm gonna send my team on it. But yeah, great display of basketball. Shout out to the home team, USA. Only time you ever catch me being patriotic is when sports are involved. But shout out to the home team. Shout out to the young guys, the stars, which out of the three teams, that's the team that I was kind of pulling for. It's my brand of hoops. Shout out Kate, shout out Book, shout out Ant. Those guys put on. Shout out Jalen Duran. Scotty Barnes is on that squad. Jalen Johnson. The league is in good hands, in my opinion, man. And I know there's a lot of questions. I know the talk for the Olympics or just in general of based off the last Olympics, it's like, all right, Braun, Katie, Steph could only carry USA but for so long. The world is catching up, right? That was the main discussion. That was the main takeaway from the last Olympics. Granted, Serbia played the US pretty close, pretty good. Um, France played US pretty good. And we all know when we gonna remember that. Come 2028. Lose on his home soil. And he's in a position to dominate a league that is here on United States home soil, where hey, Olympics in 2028, this is my league. Basketball is my sport. Who we doing nothing but feeding Victor Wembanyama fuel to come cook come 2028. That man is only getting better. But hey, at the same time, US is getting better too, man. You got Cooper Flag coming up. You got AJ DeBansa who's leading the charge in this rookie class that's got to come out. You got a guy like Cade Cunningham who's had Team USA experience being on their select team. You got Devin Booker who will be the vet on that team, I'll say. Um, vet representation, which is needed at any time. So you got him, you got Jason Tatum, who will also be likely on that squad. You got Tyrese Halliburton, who will likely be on that squad, being that they were both on last year's or last Olympics USA squad. You got Jalen Duren, who's emerged as one of the better bigs in the league this year. You got Chet Holmgren, who is carving out his path and his legacy in the league, emerging as one of the better forwards in the league. And yeah, I mean the U.S. brand of basketball, man, they are obtaining and maintaining the standard that the greats before them set. Um, I I'm believing in this new squad. I'm believing in this new team. I see the team's potential and I see the game's potential. Seeing that the guys that are here, the US bred stars, have what it takes to obtain the standard that the ones before them have. So it'll definitely be exciting to see and something to look forward to over the next couple of years. Barbershop discussions, just regular discussions here on the show, or just regular discussions in general, as far as the game and the future of the game. So yeah, so shout out to the U.S. teams for taking care of business in the All Star game this year. Um, I would love to see an East West version of this, or if there can be an East West version of this. A lot of the players have been asking for an East West version, or asking for the East West format to come back. As we know, that's the tradition. But Adam Silver has been a guy that has gone and said, forget tradition, break tradition. Traditions kind of are meant to be broken. They kind of are, right? Or it's not the end of the world if you break a tradition. I mean, life is ever changing, life is ever evolving. There's not just one way to problem solving. I might have to write that down. Life is ever changing, ever evolving. There's not just one way for problem solving. Spitting bars. But yeah, future of the game is in good hands between the current stars, the rising stars, the prospects that are coming in. And I'm looking forward to it all. Switching over to WNBA, we have some updates that there isn't an update really, or it's just looking like it's not about to be a season. Lockout season is the season, right? We got on Rival. On Rival has been holding it down. They had an event in Philly since the last time I talked to y'all, and that did numbers. Pat House, and really they're realizing their power and they're seeing their power. And I'm really tuned in to seeing how unrivaled success combats with the WNBA, because Unrivaled is a players league, ran started by players, ran by players kind of. And the WNBA is more on a corporate, like, hey, organization. Yeah, y'all the players. Yeah, they come to see y'all, but we're calling the shots. You still can't get this. You still can't get that. Nah, I get you gotta run a business how you gotta run a business. And I think if they do find a middle ground, which the basketball fan of me wants them to find a middle ground, but the human being in me wants them to be fairly compensated for their work. I think they deserve a lot. If you're bringing in a certain amount of money, you deserve your piece of the pie. You put in the work, people came to see you. People want, hey, the WNBA is David Ruffin, or the players in the WNBA is David Ruffin. Kathy Engelbert is Otis. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Kathy. They coming to see Angel Reese. They coming to see Angel Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Nafisa Collier. They coming to see Skylar Diggins. They coming to see Cam Brink, Rakia Jackson. They coming to see Paige Beckers. They coming to see Enrique Gumawale. They coming to see the Stud Buds. They not coming to see you, Kathy. It's plain and simple. Plain and simple. But I hope they get something worked out. It just doesn't seem like they're getting anything worked out. And I saw that Stewie's playing overseas. So that might be indicated that who knows? Might be an indicator that she might not be playing, or I don't know. It's mid February. They say they still have two drafts to get done and training camp before the season starts. Season starts in May. We haven't even had an expansion draft for the two teams that's supposed to start this year in the Portland Fire and the Toronto Tempo. Still no progress. Now it feels like they're getting to a middle ground based on the new developments, but I'm telling you right now, the WNBA better not mess this up because hey, if they do, we seeing how these players are choosing or not choosing are kind of dictating where the money goes. Fans of women's basketball are showing up regardless. They watching them unrivaled. They gonna watch them. They gonna watch Athletes Unlimited. They gonna watch them if they overseas. It's the players that they're watching, and it sounds like the things that they're asking for should have been basic necessities from the get go. Player housing. I'm sorry if you have a job, right? And this is your primary job. I'm just speaking as a human being right here, as an American citizen. If you have a job, you should be able to make enough money from that job to provide for you and your family, right? Let me use my resources one more time because I saw. Let's see. Use resources. Um. So yeah, Brianna Stewart signs with EuroLeague, and WNBA calls the WNBPA's proposal unrealistic. This is according to Just Women Sports. Proposals. So WNBA wants, or they proposing less than 15% of gross revenue, 5.65 million salary cap in 1 year. That's for the whole squad, right? Now the WNBPA, they want 25% of the gross revenue in year one. And they want they're asking for less than 9.5 million salary cap. So say you got a roster of 12, let's just say 9.5, oh, 0.5, divide that by 12. All right, that's on average like 80K for every player. The Players Association latest proposal remains unrealistic and would cause hundreds of millions of dollars of losses for our teams. We still need to complete 2 drafts and free agency before the start of training camp and are running out of time. We believe the WNBA's proposal would result in a huge win for current players in generations to come. I feel like if anything, if they can meet at the middle, no, I don't know the ins and outs with the numbers. I'm not a numbers guy. But if they can meet in the middle here, we could have ourselves a season. WNBA saying 5.6. The players are asking for 9.5. Let's meet them in the middle at 7. I don't know what that entails. I don't know what that covers. But 7 M's is much more than what they were getting before as far as salary cap goes. And then if they can get from less than 15% of gross value, and then they are asking for 25, right? Anywhere between like 18 to 22. Let's see, that's just what it is at the moment. So I hope that there's a solution because I would love to watch some basketball this spring, summer, and fall. That's not spaced out. I'm a guy to watch basketball all year round because basketball is all year round. We're in NBA season right now. College season is going on as well. March Madness is on its way. All right. Um, so hopefully the WNBA can get their stuff in order. So come May, we got some hoops. But if not, hey, keep fighting a good fight and fighting for what you believe in and fighting for what you believe you should be paid for. But yeah. But thank y'all for tuning in once again. This has been another installment of Bryce's Nicest. This episode we talked about the future of the game is in good hands, and it definitely is. Y'all be sure to keep it tuned in here live on the West Pussy Media YouTube channel. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and be tuned into or be on the lookout for what comes next for me. Yes, yes, sir. Thank y'all for tuning in.